Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today I'm gonna take you on a tour of my lovely neighborhood here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. I live in East Vancouver, far enough from downtown where it's not busy, in a chill, quiet, residential area. And yesterday I took my camera, I went on a walk, not really far from home. Maybe everything I shot is in a 20 minutes walking radius from my house. And I made a little list of things I like around the neighborhood to show you, to give you a little taste on how life is in Canada, how are the residential neighborhoods, what to expect, what is available for me in this neighborhood, just so you can have an idea before you move to Canada. So I'm gonna mention everything I wrote down in my little list with the shots I took while noticing those things. First thing that I love is the bike lanes. I have a lot of bike lanes near my house. The street behind my house is actually a bike path. So it's really convenient if you like biking, if you like walking, it's safe, it's easy to get around, and it's really pleasant to actually take a walk or ride your bike. I can go to downtown by bike and it's only a 20-minute ride to get there and maybe 25, 30 to come back because the way back is kind of steep. And I live close enough to a main street called Hastings Street, which goes all the way from downtown, where it can be pretty chaotic and not the safest place in Vancouver. But far from downtown where I am, it's really chill, a lot of restaurants, business, so it's really convenient. Also, I have 2 bus lanes passing right in front of my house, so it's really easy to get around. In Canada, the houses normally don't have a wall or a fence in front of them. Every house in Brazil has a wall, has some level of protection, sometimes electrical fence, and it looks like a jail more than a house. In Vancouver, every house is open. You can walk right into people's garden from the street. You can see their living rooms, their rooms. Is pretty crazy. And it feels very safe and open. People have their gardens in front of their houses. Every street here is really colorful. We're in fall right now, so all the leaves are red or yellow, so the houses look really cool. And something that's really curious here is that a lot of the houses have the same look to them. Depending on the era they were built, they all have kind of the same look. It feels like people are just copying and pasting houses all around town. So it's really common to see the same house in many different neighborhoods. All the blocks here, they have streets that cut them in the middle, and that gives people a back entrance to their houses, so it's normal to see the garages on the back, or maybe a tiny house similar to the house in front, but a smaller version that people have on the back of their houses and they rent out, or maybe they have a little storage going on, or just a normal garage. And in this back alley is also where people put their trash. All the recycling and everything is done on the back alley, so the streets look cleaner. Near my house, I have like knitting shops, coffee shops, copy and printing shops, many restaurants. I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of Asian influence. So there's a lot of Chinese takeouts, Vietnamese restaurants, and it's really good. So if you like Asian food, East Van is a really good place to be. A lot of banks, groceries, so it's very, very convenient. There's never a time that I need to buy something and I can't find near my house. So that's pretty good. And where I live in East Vancouver, you're not allowed to build high buildings. So, when you look around, everything is pretty flat. I don't think you can go past 4 or 5 floors, which is becoming a trend now. People just tear the whole block down and build a 4-story building with a lot of business on the ground floor. So maybe like coffee shops, banks, whatever it is. And that's becoming more and more normal here in East Vancouver. Something that's pretty normal here is to see that every house has a basement, like a ground floor, but it's kind of actually half underground. So the windows are a little higher, the ceiling is kind of low, and people either rent that out or they make game rooms, or their kid has a room there, something like that. But it's pretty normal to see in every house to have like a little basement and also an attic. In Brazil, it's not really common to have a floor below ground, but in Canada, that's pretty normal. Another thing I love in the neighborhood is the amount of trees. Every street is, it's covered with trees on both sides. The houses, they have like giant trees in front of them or by the door. Trees that sometimes even cover the houses, So that's something really cool to see. And I feel like more cities should do the same, or at least not cut all their trees down. And I'm not trying to sound like an environmentalist or anything, but it is really nice to have a lot of green around your house. Near my house, there's a few schools, some of them are Christian schools. It's no surprise that the church came in strong in Canada and they wiped out the culture that was here before and they implemented their own, so you can see a lot of religious school around. There's another school near my house with a sick football and soccer field. It looks really cool. And right next to it, there is a fire station where they wake me up every day at 5 a.m. with the fire truck going nuts. And something you can also find in some of the fire stations is like a giant bin for clothes collection. So if you have anything to donate, you can just throw it in there and people are gonna collect. Near my house, I also have a few gyms, a community center with basketball courts. There's a bunch of basketball courts around. I think there is maybe like 5 within a 15-minute walk from my home. Also some tennis courts. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a soccer field with a running track around. There's a bike track. There's so much stuff to do. And if you keep walking north, you're gonna arrive in a park called New Brighton Park, where they have an outdoor swimming pool. They closed it for winter, so now it became a little sanctuary for birds, where they just, do their business in the water. So every summer people need to drain the pool down, wash everything and fill it up again. But it's a really beautiful park. There's also another soccer field there. There's a dog park where you can just let your dog run off leash, and it's by the water. It's beautiful. You can watch the bridges, the ports and everything. The entrance of the Port of Vancouver is also right here, so there's a lot of trucks that come off the highway and get there. And I live right next to the highway, so if I ever want to drive up to Squamish or Whistler or to my school, I can just, turn right, and I'm on the highway. So that's pretty convenient. To record this video, I walked a lot around my neighborhood, so all I ask from you is, leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. And I hope to like the tour around my neighborhood. I want to do more videos like this, maybe in different neighborhoods here in Vancouver, just so you have a feel on how things look and how the neighborhoods are, just in case you're planning to move to Canada. If you want to become a pilot or you have any questions about pilot training, just message me on Instagram, Fly with Pedro, or leave your comment down below. And let me know if you're already in Vancouver, where do you live and how is your neighborhood? Just comment down below and I'll see you next week.